Samuel Basio called up to the show and already making an impact. Dean Kramer continues to make a big impact too. His ERA now under 4, and Jordan Westburg bluntly says what he and his team, the message they're trying to send to the front office. Hello, everybody. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest. Please like, subscribe, do all the things because it could be a pretty exciting final 6 weeks of the Orioles season. Lots of headlines to talk about today. Samuel Basio called up, gets his first RBI, gets robbed of a homer, also gets hit by pitch. Jordan Westburg sending a clear message to the front office, both with his performance and with his words. We're going to get into that. And the Orioles pitching staff, literally the pitching staff has been lights out since the trade deadline. Top 3, the starting rotation by ERA in the majors. So it's impressive to see that as well. But of course, we start with what everybody is talking about, Samuel Basio, and he's up. He's up at the show. He and Dylan Beavers, we're starting to get a look at what the 2026 Birds, could in fact look like, and, take a look. Gets the high heater, rips it to right field, 2-run single. Yes, the game was already out of hand for the Birds, but some good swings out of Basio. He was seeing the ball really well, and definitely a positive debut for Samuel Basio, and good news for the Birds as they go into 2026, because the lineup has been pretty anemic since the trade deadline, and obviously the explosion of 12 runs, was impressive, and that's the sort of production that needs to go forward. Now, speaking of production, interesting stat here. Since the Trevor Rogers game in Boston on the 24th of May, the Birds are 41-33. That's a .554 winning percentage, or a 90 win pace, essentially. Only 4 teams in baseball have more wins than the Birds over that span. Now, look, the start was so horrible that there's really no way to bounce back from that kind of horrible start. But you can see some signs, some semblance of not only fight in this team, but also what the future could indeed hold. And speaking of what the future could hold, I want to go to some words from Jordan Westburg. Now, Jordan, since he's returned from his injury on June 10th, he's hitting .298. He has a .350 on-base percentage, .512 slugging, and an .860 OPS. So he is not only trying to lead by example, but also trying to lead in the clubhouse and trying to get his teammates amped up. And here's what he had to say after the game. Look, if we want to force the front office's hand or force things to happen in this organization, we've got to prove that we're able to play winning baseball. It's very important to this clubhouse. That's very important to me. I hate losing. Since June, we've got a winning record, playing some good ball. We've played 2 really good series, and it's important for us to keep stacking those together, to keep remembering that, yeah, this doesn't happen this year, but we're playing for the future. So, interesting statement from Jordan Westburg, and he's definitely doing his part. He is definitely doing his part to amp up the Birds and his teammates. And I'll tell you who else are doing their part, and that is the pitching staff. And I want to get to some numbers right now from this pitching staff, starting with Trevor Rogers. Obviously, Trevor has been lights out. He has been the ace of this staff since he came back. 11 games, 69 and a third innings pitched, 2 homers, 60 strikeouts, that 1.43 ERA. So he's really set he has really stepped up as an ace in this club. And then, though, you go a little deeper. Dean Kramer has been outstanding lately. And Kramer has now gotten his ERA under 4. 25 games, 147 and a third innings pitched, given up 18, but he struck out 123, about a hit an inning. Lots of hits per 9, but again, he has really turned it around with his 3.97 ERA now. And again, impressive if you start to think about what this could look like over a full season for 2026. Indeed, it is very impressive. So we have the Samuel Basio news. Dean Kramer with another great start, and also the length that he's going in the games. You know, really pitching 6-7 innings, the same that Rogers is doing, the same that Sagano has now built up to. Cade Povich is showing flashes. We saw the Brandon Young huge flash the other night. So all in all, you have Rogers establishing himself as a front of the rotation starter. You have Kramer proving to be a solid middle of the rotation guy who can eat innings. You have the youngsters. You have Brandon Young. You have Cade Povich. They're showing flashes. Sagano, 10 wins now. He is pitching pretty well too. And again, this is a starting staff that's a top 3 ERA, over the past 3 weeks or so. So again, and 41 and 33 since May 24th. So it's a team that is showing promise. It's a team that is starting to gel. Yes, it's too late for this year, but you're seeing the young outfield. Now you're seeing Dylan Beavers. You're seeing Jeremiah Jackson. You're seeing a lot of these guys now come up. Obviously, Basio comes up. You have Dylan Carlson up. You have a real glimpse into what this team could look like in the future. Obviously, of course, you add to that Jackson, who has really started to step up offensively, particularly. You have Gunnar Henderson, Westberg, who's been on fire, Mountcastle, not sure about his future with the team, but looking good. Tyler O'Neill, hopefully, to make some contributions. So, again, like Westy said, the Birds right now are playing to prove something to the front office and to seriously show the front office this is a winning team, so that then Mike Elias and company can get the missing pieces to help put together a contender for 2026. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest.